when my first guest tonight is embarked on one of her worldwide tours with her one-woman show, she literally is poetry in motion. But for the last couple of years, she's been rather more static. She concentrated less on creating rhymes that bounce across the page as creating little persons who bounce across the carpet, if you follow me. Not so much worried about what fills a line, more what fills a nappy. So I'm pleased to report that she's back in full poetic harness, or she might say herself, "From up Knox to now, I'm one of your stayers, so please would you welcome, who else but Pam Ayres." Harry Stoneham played you on with Smile because that's what you're famous for as well as poetry. And congratulations, congratulations, because you're celebrating, this will be your 10th year in show business.
Yes, it is, 75. I started.
Is your background more more literary than musical? What about your mum and dad? Were they in?
No, you see, I didn't have anybody to go to for advice, really, because my dad was a lovely man, but he was very much a country man, and his main interest was keeping bees. And he used to keep 4 or 5 beehives in our chicken run, as a matter of fact. And our chickens were the fastest runners on the face of the earth. And my mother, she had 6 children, of whom I'm the youngest. And she was very interested in cookery, I suppose, if she had any hobbies. And also in perhaps what is a form of cookery, country wine making.
Oh, yes.
Yes, she used to take a basket in the autumn and go off all around the hedgerows and pick things to make wine from. And she used to make all different sorts of wine. She used to make oak leaf, Bob, bramble tip, blackberry, wheat and raisin.
Wheat and raisin.
Yes, she used to make an extraordinary variety of wines. Mind you, they all tasted the same, but she did have an interest in technique with wine, which I've never heard of practiced in any other part of the country. And that was, if she'd made a wine which she thought was too still for somebody, she thought whoever she was serving it to would prefer a sparkling wine. Well, she had an interest in process, which wasn't done at any of the fermentation stages. It was actually done at the pouring out stage. She used to drop a sterident tablet in it.
Forevermore after that story, I shall think of your mother's dentures foaming in the wine, rather than...
In the sterident, yes.
Pam, you said once that when you write about whatever's happening to you at the moment. You just adopt whatever subject is actually part of your daily, day-to-day experience.
I do, yes.
So it prompts the question, what's happening to you at the moment now?
Oh,
I mean,
well,
you're sitting here talking, but I mean in your life.
I am, yes. Well, I'm married now. I've got married. I weighed up the situation when I was 35, and I thought, is it fair to deprive the marketplace of a catch like myself for any longer? No, I thought.
No,
I thought it's not.
No, it's not.
So I took myself a husband, and it's very nice. A very nice husband, actually. His name's Dudley, which is an unusual name, isn't it?
Yes.
I looked it up, actually. I looked up his name in a book of names. And I looked at my own name, which is Pamela, against which it said purity and innocence, which I couldn't argue with. And then I looked at my husband's name, Dudley, and it said a town in Worcestershire.
All this domesticity. I mean, you write about what's happening to you. Has this inspired you to verse?
Well, yes, I've got a new book, actually, which is being published to coincide with Mother's Day, and it's about being a mum. And I've written down all the things that struck me as funny about being a mum, and put them into this book.
Lovely to hear some samples, please, Pam.
Right, you are. I'll give you one for a baby. This is for a mum to read to a baby who sucks his thumb. This is the story of Bonko Bonks, the finest boy in the land. Well, all he would do when listening to you was suck the thumb on his hand. Well, one fine day, poor Bonko Bonks chews in a peppermint lump found he had sucked his thumb clean away and was only left with the stump. That was one. Another one. This is,
No, you should have read me that one. I was a thumbsucker.
So was I.
Were you?
Yeah.
A terrible
And
habit.
this is a nursery rhyme which I didn't know the end of, so I finished it myself. And this goes, pat a cake, baker's man. Bake us a cake as fast as you can. But wash your hands before you invite us, because we don't want gastroenteritis. Well, this is for mums who are feeling superior about their baby, because I think you do. I think you feel very superior about your baby. And I think the nice thing about having a baby is that you don't want anybody else's. You only want your own, because that one seems to you to be the best. So this is about that. My baby's eyes are bluer than yours. He's got much more hair and he's stronger. Oh, he's ever so bright and he sleeps through the night. And of hair too, I'd say mine is longer. Oh, I swear it's the truth. He's cutting a tooth and he's obviously going to be tall. No, it's hard to explain now I've looked at your Wayne why you bothered to have one at all. Those are very silly little ones for children.
I think they're lovely, and if Harry Stoneham doesn't set them to music before the evening's over, I shall be very disappointed.
I'll go and negotiate with him straight away, Bob.
You're obviously very happy at the moment, Pam. I mean, motherhood and marriage and motherhood in that order.
Yes, I am.
You've got no regrets?
No, I've got no regrets whatsoever, except that it has taken its toll of me body, Bob. Well, this may not be obvious because it is wonderful what corseteer ears can do. But
you look pretty good to me, Pam. You're in good nick.
Oh, thank you. Well, I know, but I mean, I think it does make a difference having children. I mean, I've got lines around my eyes and that now that perhaps I didn't have before, and that. Anyway, I've written a poem about this loss of good looks. It's called Once I Was a Looker and So Was My Spouse. Once I was a looker and so was my spouse. I recall when we first came to live in this house, he was young, optimistic and fresh in the face, with never the twang of a hernia brace. He said he would die if he could not be mine. He wooed me with words more addictive than wine. The monastery beckoned. He wanted no other. But now he troops in and he says, "Hello, mother." He'd bound through the door with a laugh and a slap, and I used to think, my, there's a handsome young chap. Thank heavens I'm wed to a red-blooded man, but now I get pecks like you'd give your old gran. He used to take pains with the look of his hair. The top London salons, they all knew him there. No end ever split and no high standard slid. Now he goes round to George, who'll oblige for a quid. But when he first courted me, wasn't I proud? His gay repartee had me laughing out loud. But now he reclines in his jersey and socks and in my direction grunts, "What's on the box?" I used to look on as he walked down the street, a picture of style from his head to his feet. But now there's a cap where the tresses have thinned and faded old trousers that flap in the wind. Mind, I'm not blameless, I know very well that the strain of maternity's starting to tell. I do what I can, but there's one thing for sure, the mirror is no friend of mine anymore. He used to admire my refinement and poise. I'd turn up my nose at a smell or a noise, but now when I'm shouting, he ducks with the rest as I go herring past with a peau and a vest. Oh yes, he admired the cut of me jib, and wasn't I thin you could see every rib, but now in the chrome at the top of the cooker, I see many things, but I can't see a looker.
Pam Ayres, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Pam. Marvellous.
Thank you, Bob.
I'll have one of them. Thank you, Pam Ayres.